So yesterday, I went to Six Flags Fiesta Texas in San Antonio. And it was, honestly, it was amazing. The rides were great. The lines were really short. It wasn't crowded at all. It all made for a really fun day. So I went on a number of different rides, and including kiddie rides. And I'm going to rank them now, including the kiddie rides. So without further ado, let's do this. Also, once again with the worst list, there are going to be some good rides on here. So just expect that. Number 6 worst for me is Roadrunner Express. So this is a good ride. I had fun on it. It was a fun experience. I would ride it again. So this ride is kind of similar to the Whizzer from Six Flags Great America, which that's a good ride too. As for which one's better, I'd say the Whizzer by a bit, just because it's cool how you go over the lake. But Roadrunner Express is a good ride too. It's not really for the thrill seekers, but there are some pretty good, it's a pretty fun ride, and I would recommend it. Number 5 worst, I had Bugs' Whitewater Rapids. So just like before, this is a fun ride. I had a lot of fun on it, but there are a few things that they should definitely fix. First of all, the queue line. I do enjoy the theming in there, but for some reason it just doesn't, it smells weird in there. I can't even describe it. So that's only for like the first half though. After that it's pretty decent. It doesn't smell bad. So then the other thing is that I don't know if this was intentional, but on the ride, like I was sitting in the front row seat, so, but like there's just this giant puddle of, there was this like, it was just like a lake of water in there. It was like probably like 4 inches high, so that was weird. Like I don't know if they meant to do that or if it's just something they have to fix if there's like a leak or something, but that kind of was annoying because my shoes got super wet and I think they're still not completely dry. Number 4 worst, I have the Sky Screamer, which may be surprising for you guys, but like I said, almost all the rides I went on were good. So this was really fun. You go pretty high in the air. You get a nice view of the park. I just felt like the ride was too short and it wasn't as thrilling as I hoped for. Number 3 worst. I honestly don't know what this one's called. I'm just gonna call it the train. So on the train you go around the park seeing some of their coasters and stuff. And you do go through the quarry, like through a tunnel at one point, so that was cool. But problems with this ride is that, first of all, I feel like it's too short. I mean, I got to go on it twice. Like, through both times I went on it, it probably would have been about the length that the ride should have been. It was probably like, let's just say it was a 5-minute ride. I got to go on this ride twice, along with 2 other rides, which I will talk about later. And I just felt like, first of all, this ride was too short, and also it was weird because there's like a tour guide, you know, like saying like, and here's Superman Krypton Coaster. This is 179 feet tall and the tallest in the park. I don't know if it says that, but you know, you get what I mean. It's like, so there's that, and then, it was a man's voice, but there were women operating the ride, so I think it was just a recording. And, you know, just, the train also had this annoying squeaking sound whenever it would go on, like, sometimes it would like turn and then there would be this annoying squeaking sound. It was not a pleasant experience for my earlobes. So, I do recommend this ride, just don't put your expectations too high. I'm not saying that's bad, though. Kiddie Koaster. So, this ride, I know it's for the kids, not for someone my age. So, that's probably why it wasn't very thrilling. The ride is only 279 feet long. I looked it up, and yes, it's even less thrilling than the kiddie ride, basically Sprocket Rockets at Great America, which I thought nothing could be less thrilling than that. And I know I did post a video on this ride. I wrote it as a joke. Yeah. The splash zone! Doesn't that sound like fun? You get to splash in non-existent water, go down tiny slides, and try not to hit kids as they're trying to climb up the slides. Doesn't that sound like your dream come true? Well, it wasn't for me. The thing is, when you make something called Splash Zone actually have water. I mean, it would actually be kind of fun to go through the water and stuff. So, like, why not put in water? And now for the best list! The Mardi Gras Parade. The Mardi Gras Parade. So this was a lot of fun. It's not too long, but that's fine. I heard that they actually have some of the floats from the real Mardi Gras Parade. I'm not sure if that's true because I've never seen that, but someday I might go to New Orleans and try that out. Because this is just part of the experience. This is just like a small portion of what the real experience in New Orleans would be like. I think it would be really cool, and there's, in this parade there's tons of cool floats, people throwing beads at you, except some of them are broken. I got a bunch myself, I have like 5 of them. I know this doesn't really count as a ride, but that's why I called it the top 6 best and worst attractions. That's also why Splash Zone was allowed to be on the list. So, Poltergeist. This was a very, very insane... This was an insane ride, but it was also insanely fun. So, they call it like a spaghetti ball coaster or something like that. It's really compact. It doesn't take up a whole lot of land. So that means you might go around a track you already went through before, which is cool. Something like what Lightning Loops at Great Adventure was like. And it's a really fun ride. It was actually so insane that this might have just been because maybe I didn't have enough water, but I wouldn't say I blacked out, but my vision started to get blurry. Like, it started to just see more black areas. That's how insane this was. And it was really, really fun, so that's why it gets to be number 5. Goliath. People do say this is a clone. This is basically the same layout as all the other rides. The B&M inverts. I don't really know on that because the only other one I've been on is Batman the Ride, which at Great America, which I haven't been on in a while. So, this is a really fun ride though. I do remember the beginning of Batman the Ride the most. And I say that the beginning with like you turn and then you drop. I remember that from Batman the Ride, and that's also here. So, it's not really the most unique ride, but it's a lot of fun. You go around track you've already been through a lot of times. It's kind of compact. It's a really fun ride. Number 3 best is Batman the Ride. So, like Coaster Studio said, it's, like, Coaster Studio said that the Goliath ride at Fiesta Texas seemed more like it should be Batman the Ride, and Batman the Ride should be called Goliath. He thought the theming should have been switched around. I kind of agree on that, but I still love the theming for Batman the Ride. The queue line is the theater where his parents got killed. There's a giant Batmobile. I won't say it's really the best theming. I think I prefer the version at Great America. That's some really good theming they have there, with like the Gotham City Police Department and all kinds of stuff. But even if the theming isn't as good, the ride is certainly a masterpiece. So, since it is a 4D coaster, you get a different ride every time. And I think I only rode it once, so next time I go to Great America, I'll probably ride the Joker if it's not like a 3-hour wait. Like if it's not like a crowded day there. Like, you'd think that since Batman the Ride at Fiesta Texas is their newest coaster, you'd think it would have like the longest line, but after I went on Roadrunner Express, that actually had the longest line. It was like 55 minutes. Batman the Ride, I only had to wait in line for maybe 15 or 20 minutes, so that was great. The Iron Rattler. So this was actually the first ride I went on. I really enjoyed it. It was actually one of the smoothest wooden coasters I've ever been on. So you won't believe how smooth this thing is. It's insane. Yes, I know it's an RMC with like the steel wood hybrid, but still, it's quite an accomplishment how they made it so smooth. Talking about the ride itself, I find that it's similar to Hades 360 at Mount Olympus or Six Flags Great America, where it has like all the like loop. It has kind of all the inversions. It looks basically like the same track as Goliath. It's a really fun ride. Oh, also, with this ride, I got a picture printed of us because we all looked terrible in the photo. It was really funny. And for a while, I thought nothing could beat this. Until I rode Superman Krypton Coaster. So, by far the hardest decision I had to make with this list was to choose which I preferred. Iron Rattler or Superman Krypton Coaster. The reason why I picked Superman was because my first ride on Iron Rattler was great. But my second one wasn't as good. It was still a great ride. For some reason, I just thought the first ride was better. With Superman, I thought both rides were perfect. Like, I didn't come off the thing saying, like, this is the best ride I ever went on, like I did with Hades 360 or Raging Bull or Rock and Roller Coaster, but this is still a very, very, very good ride. You don't really feel like you're flying as much as Superman Ultimate Flight at Great America, since you are on a floorless coaster instead of a flying one, but it is still a very, very fun ride.